Hello everyone, Jarrod D here, and I am so excited to premiere our 30th episode of the BoyFriends podcast. So thank you so much for being a consistent viewer or listener. And quick note, we are going to have some sound issues for like the first 11 minutes because Renee's mic is out. So you're only going to be hearing her through my mic and Melvin's mic, and her voice is going to be a little bit lower than usual. But afterwards, it's all back to normal. And I thank you so much for understanding and enjoy the show. Welcome to the BoyFriends podcast, where we help you find your circle and your man. I'm Jarrod D. and as you can see, we are missing a couple of hosts, but hopefully they will be back the next time we record.
Sorry. I really felt that.
Okay.
Y'all never seen Set It Off?
No. I've seen
You never
clips.
seen Set It Off? Wait, y'all never seen Set It Off?
I've seen clips.
Clips don't count. You never seen Set It Off either? Oh my gosh. You need to put like a big alert.
Oh gosh.
No, that's like it's like a cult classic. Like
I know.
Don't mean to say you. You got what was her name? Stony, I think.
You're asking like I know.
Right, like y'all know. But she was on the bed crying. She had like the little braids. This is at the end of the movie. Everybody died except for her.
Oh, wow.
Like,
okay.
Okay, spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry.
well, I mean, at this point,
like,
it's not really a spoiler alert.
Like, y'all got to watch it, though.
Right,
right. It's a good movie.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Thank you. So I guess really we'll just get into quick intros and see what everybody's been up to. You've been very talkative already so far, so why don't you start us off and let us know what's been going on in your world?
So the last time I think I told you guys I was like trying to work on my blood pressure and start getting in the gym. Mm-hmm. Well, good news is that I went to the doctor and they said my numbers are great.
Oh, awesome.
Yay.
So, yeah, and I've been working out, trying to eat better. I'm feeling great, as you can see. I'm all energized.
You're very chipper.
It's the tea, honestly.
But see, like
tea,
I feel like I'm like low energy right now because I've just started drinking my coffee. And it's like, you know, usually when I wake up, it's wake up coffee, and it was wake up today. It was wake up, do everything else in the world, and now I'm drinking. So yeah, I'm trying to perk it up.
20 minutes in, you'll be ready to go.
Yeah. We'll see. What about you? What's been going on?
Not much. I recently went to the eye doctor, and for someone my age to have cataracts, they were like amazed by me. Yeah, no, I've had cataracts since I was born. So I'm like a medical anomaly. So every single time I go to the eye doctor, I feel like a celebrity. It's amazing. I crave going to the eye doctor because every time I walk in, people are just like, "So your right eye is really -13," and I'm like, yeah. And they're just like, wow, and you're 28 and you have cataracts? Like, I've had them since I was like 7.
I'm kind of a big deal.
And I'm a big deal when I go to the eye doctor. It's amazing.
So I have a question. Yeah. Do they still like prescribe like marijuana for cataracts? Is that still a thing?
I don't need it.
Okay.
I really don't need it. Yeah, I don't even know what it would help with.
My dad had cataracts, but I don't know. Maybe they did a surgery or something. It's not gone. But they prescribed him like it was like pills, but it was marijuana pills.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's
what
everyone said to me growing up when I said that I had cataracts. Like, can you get marijuana? I don't know how it would help.
Well, look, my eyesight is awful. So, I mean, I'm wearing contacts all the time.
I don't need to wear contacts. Because this eye overpowers this eye.
Really? So it just balances out?
Yeah, okay. So if I close this eye, I barely know that you're Jarrod.
Oh, wow.
Like, this eye is almost completely blind. They actually put an earth-shattering fear into me now that I, for some reason, never really thought of. They're just like, yeah, I think we should get you, like, some really good glasses to help protect that eye. And I was like...
It's going to turn into like a bionic eye because it's just so powerful.
No,
it's going to be like shooting lasers.
That would be sick. No, because she was just like, well, that's your good eye. If you lose sight in that eye, you're fucked. I'm like, God damn it.
But yeah, my past couple of weeks, I've had, they've been partly really good, partly really bad. But I will say Pride was last weekend in Philly. So I enjoyed.
Did you guys go to Sweat?
We went to. It was like the party on the boat. I don't know. Was there another
On the like the Kavanaughs?
at the
Kavanaugh's
Mosholu?
River Dick? No.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
it's like in that area, but it was out on the Mosholu on the boat.
No.
So that's not because I know
Yeah.
that it was in conjunction with I guess Sway or something that I think was.
Sweat. She did Sweat. Wait, but
But it
what
might
day
have been a
did you
different
go?
event. I went Friday.
Oh
for
yeah,
that.
no, Sweat was on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
maybe,
that's
yeah,
what I
Sway
thought
did
that was.
something
Okay.
else.
Well, I didn't. It was Saturday. I went to a circuit party, which was actually my first time doing
Wow.
that. It was
was it?
actually pretty cool. Yeah. You know, I mean,
Did you
like,
take your shirt off?
I took a lot of things off.
Oh.
And the plot thickens.
I stayed clothed. Let me say that. But
Okay.
yeah.
Clothed.
Mostly. But yeah, no, it was fun. And then, of course, like the general like festival on Sunday that everybody went to.
I was there, but I didn't see you. Where were you? Were you by the stage? Because I saw your story, and I saw you were by the stage, but I was like, I did not see him out there.
Yeah.
I wasn't there long though. I was only there for like 2 hours or 3.
Okay.
2.5 hours maybe.
Yeah, I was out there. I was out there for a long time.
Did you see Jeremy
No,
on
I
stage?
didn't see him.
Okay, so yeah.
We was on the where was he on the Boys of Summer stage?
He
the one
was
with the BOS or
on-
whatever on it.
I want to say 13th and Market, maybe.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, okay, 13th and Market.
Maybe I'm wrong. No, that's wrong.
Like in between Woody's and.
Yeah, it was over there.
Okay,
It was
yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah.
It was a,
So
it was
I
a big
wasn't.
stage.
It was actually
we were
never.
there from like 3 to like 6, maybe.
Okay,
3
so
to 6
see,
-ish.
I never actually went to that area. I was bouncing around
bars.
everywhere else but there, and it was weird because I don't know why. I guess our attention just kind of drifted there.
That's
But
what a lot of
anyway,
people were saying. They were just like bar hopping
Yeah.
during the time. Because I had a friend that was out there. He kept trying to meet up, but it was too many people.
it was a lot of people, but it was fun. It was fun, and I think because of all those people, or maybe it was a couple days before that. But like I was dealing with a cold this week, not what you think it was. I tested, and it was not that. Tested multiple times.
For COVID. I want to make that clear.
Well, I'm.
Look, he saw me close my top.
I like how you say, like, it's not what you think it is. I've been tested so many times. I'm just like, that just sounds wrong. I want to make it clear. that
Well,
you
I mean,
tested
if
for
it's a
COVID.
cold, I mean, obviously they.
Oh,
you
I
know.
would think that because we're in the COVID area, so now when people say cold, they think.
Yeah. That's what I would think. I don't know. I didn't want to
Not
say it because,
else.
YouTube acts weird sometimes.
sorry.
It's
How you
okay.
doing
I don't think it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But
Did
anyway,
you say the word?
she blew the lid off of that.
blew it.
So anyway, why don't we just jump into our topic
talking
for
about
today?
everything
Talk about
but-
everything but what we're supposed to be actually
have
be
to
talking
cut
about
some of
today.
this.
Probably. I have my
On
work
my-
cut out
on
for
my
me to.
tryst. Okay.
Half of that comment. No, I'm just kidding.
So today's topic is coming from a viewer. This is coming from Viral. He asks, how do I deal with a boyfriend who is a control freak? Is this the sign of a narcissist, or am I being delusional? And he also says, lately my boyfriend for the past month has been distant and dismissive, as if I'm a kitchen faucet of feelings he can just turn off and on. I'm somewhat afraid to leave or break up with him. So, has
First
anybody...
of all, Viral is an American treasure, and anyone treating him that way can come see me. He's so sweet that I think he messaged all of us like quite a few times, right? Yeah, he's
Not
so
me.
Really?
I don't know, Vera.
Okay. Well, he's messaged me a couple times.
We'll get you introduced.
I think, and he's so sweet. So I'm really sorry that you're going through that, because I just I hate when people dismiss people in their lives. I just think it's so rude. Just to dismiss someone like that. But on the topic of dealing with someone controlling, honestly, I've been through some abusive relationships in my life, and at any sign of control that just gives me the ick, I'm out automatically. I know. Just tossing
I didn't say
someone,
anything.
Just
I didn't
tossing
say
someone-
anything.
Just
Here we go
tossing
again.
someone out
I didn't say anything.
At like the first thing, but it's one just like a preference because it can be like triggering to some of the things that I've dealt with in the past. So in my opinion, I think the first sign of you having like that pit in your stomach feeling of like, should I leave or not because they're being so controlling, my first instinct would be to follow that gut feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. When I hear this, for some reason, I feel like what I'm hearing from the situation is that he is kind of checked out, or he's not engaging with you in a way that, because I guess I'll explain it this way. I'm a person who likes to express his feelings and who likes to talk it through and who likes to just deal with the issue when it happens. Not everybody is that way. And I feel like that's kind of the issue here. And I don't know, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, if you're feeling something different. Because he asks about him being controlling, but then he says in the past month he's been distant and dismissive, as if I'm a kitchen faucet of feelings. And like, you know, so I'm basically seeing like, Vero, like maybe you're a little bit too, or you're coming off a little bit too emotional for his liking or for his taste. I don't know. I think it's really hard to deal with anything when the other person kind of shuts down or does not want to talk about it. I think many times it's like, well, what do I do with, you know, how I feel about the situation? How can we move past it if we're not able to actually deal with it? I'm like, and you know, some people like to sweep stuff under the rug and just move on. And I think in some cases you can do that, but I'm the type of person that's just like, let's talk about this and let's move forward with some kind of a strategy. So, you know, we know what we're doing.
So I would say, you know, sometimes I feel like I've been in this situation too, where I can come off dismissive or non-emotional, whatever the case may be. I think sometimes it's about the way we receive a message. And so maybe, I'm not saying you're wrong in any of your feelings. Is it virile, right? Virile. But I think that sometimes it can always be about tact and delivery. And so maybe what I always suggest when I'm like emotional about something or something stresses me out, but I don't have the words to express it, I start to write what I'm thinking down, or like I'll type it out on my phone, whatever. But yeah, I'll like do those things. I like write it down and just write everything that I'm thinking down, and then I'll pick out the points that actually make sense and that are not so accusatory or attacking the other person, just so I can get out what it is that I'm feeling. Like it might be something that he caused by action that he didn't mean to cause or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so you need to just maybe focus on what it is that you're feeling and state the facts. Like, when you did this, it made me feel like this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like just the way you deliver the message. And he has to be open to it. Obviously, that's a thing. Like, he has to be open to conversation, because if he's not open to the conversation, then nothing will get, nothing will help. Nothing will get solved.
Now, my question is, does that shutting down, does that translate to being a control freak?
I think so, in a sense, because you're controlling the conversation, you're controlling the narrative. I don't get to talk to you when I want to talk to you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it sounds like those are two separate things to me. Like, it's like he's a control freak and he's been dismissive. And what else did he say? Mm-hmm. Dismissive and something.
Yeah.
Distant or something.
Dismissive and distant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it was like, be like kind of, it's definitely hurtful when someone's like, well, we're not going to talk about it now because I don't want to. It's like, but I want to.
Right. But it's also a respect thing. Like, if the situation just happened, obviously, like, let me calm down so I can actually have the conversation. But it's also, like, you don't wait too long. You're not waiting like 3 days to have a conversation about something that happened. It's probably not, no one's even mad anymore at this point, but it's just about like having the conversation. If you really, like he said, he didn't want to leave him. So I think like having a conversation is worth it. Like, but maybe not be so emotional about it. Like, take the emotion out of it and just be able to actually have the conversation. And so maybe that means that you need to take some time to calm yourself down before you have the conversation.
It's just funny because I don't know. I just feel like a lot of our topics are very relevant to my own life. And it's just like, I'm the type of person where I'm just like, it's very hard for me to move past a situation without having addressed it, and I think it's a lot more comfortable to not address the situation because then you don't have the potential for like a dramatic moment. But I don't know. I just know how I am. I don't let fear kind of dictate what I'm going to do. Like, even if I'm a little bit afraid of what a situation may be or what the reaction may be, I understand that it's healthier to actually talk through a situation than to just act like it didn't happen, Now, I won't say that you have to have a deep conversation about everything. Sometimes some things are just a little bit annoying and you just move past it. It's like,
okay, great.
Not that big
That's
of a
where
deal.
I was going to go next. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
I mean, like, you definitely have to balance and check yourself because it's like
everything don't have to be
everything don't have to be a conversation. But
Right.
some things are deep. Some things cut deep. And when you have those moments, those are some things that you can't just slide under the rug. And it has the potential to change relationships,
Right.
So yeah.
And I think that takes, like a lot of self-awareness, so like you have to know what you're willing to deal with and what you're not. So at some points, like I know it sounds great to be able to say, yeah, I'm going to say something when something bothers me. But when you're in the situation, I'm just saying this from experience. When you're in the situation and maybe y'all just got into it about something and you like, we just got over that bump. So I don't want to say something else just to cause another bump,
Right.
And it's like, I'd rather just let this one go. Even if it is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Sometimes you like, you know what? You got this one.
And the
because
thing,
it just is. You don't want to cause friction with your partner. You don't want to cause friction with the person that you love. You want there to be peace. So you try to work around it and make those feelings work. And then you just have to know how far you're willing to go before you say, okay, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna settle for this. I'm not gonna let this go. But it's just a personal preference.
Yeah. The other thing that kind of like screws up conversation, and I'll say this for like my personal situation, is like, when you get accused of, liking drama or liking confrontation, and then you don't want to address it because then you don't want to get that accusation thrown in your face.
Like he's saying, like, oh, you always picking at me because you like drama. You always starting something because you want there to be drama.
Right. It's like, I don't know. And that for me is like extremely offensive to say to me. I don't like drama. Like, if you know me, I don't like drama. But
You're a very serene person.
like, peace is like my number one thing. Like, if my world is peaceful, I'm okay. I'm not trying to be in drama. But at the same time, it's like if drama is dropped in front of me, I'm gonna deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not gonna shy away from it.
I think I think that's appropriate. I think it's really about how you deal with it is the real intricate part of everything. Like, because you don't have to. It's not being confrontational to say something is bothering you. That's not a confrontational statement or anything.
Right.
But it's about how you say it. Like, I think it's about knowing yourself and knowing your limit, like knowing when and what are your triggers. And so you need to be able to, like, hey, you know what, I'm a little upset right now, so if I try to address this right now, it might not come off the best way. It might start up more trouble than what I mean. And so it's about knowing that and pulling yourself out of that situation to be able to realize, like, let me hold back for now, and maybe I can address it later. Maybe it doesn't have to be a thing. And if you do wait 2 or 3 days, you can come back to it and be like, hey, you know what? The other day you had did something that had really pissed me off, but I'm not upset anymore. But I just wanted to address it, so next time when the situation happens again,
please don't do this.
Right.
Or or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's nothing's rude about that statement. It's just like I was letting you know something, and now we have it. But in the heat of the moment, you might be like, "Why the you gonna pop off?" And then now it's a whole thing.
Exactly.
So on the topic of dealing with a partner who's controlling, what can you put up with like what they're controlling about? Like, what is like a deal breaker for you? Because I think for me, it would be like controlling what I can wear out and stuff, or controlling whenever we get to see each other. I know that like sometimes like schedules conflict, but like when they're just like, no, I'll tell you when we can hang out or something like that.
I think that level of control is probably an overstep for me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you want to control how the chores are done, you can go ahead and control that, boo. That's fine with me. No, you got to do it this way. Well, then you do it, and then I'm just gonna move on. I'll purposely mess some stuff up for you to control that situation if you want to.
That is weaponizing competence, people.
No, but like, there are certain things that you can just kind of like. That's just kind of who they are. They like things to be a particular way. And if they're very particular about certain things and it doesn't impact me so much and you can get over the hump of being annoyed about that, then that's one thing. But don't try to control me and my behavior and my
like who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's one thing to be like, hey, that's probably not the best thing to, or like, that's not cool, or that's not, like have those conversations about when something is bothering you, but then you have to let the other person be who they are. And if who they are does not mesh with you, then that's not the person you need to be with. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
For me, I think I'm pretty easygoing, so I don't mind.
I haven't gathered that whatsoever.
I'm a pretty chill guy, so I'm like, I don't mind someone taking charge if they want to. I mean, like obviously you're not gonna tell me what to wear, like that's, yeah. But I don't mind someone taking charge, but I also don't mind taking charge. I can be a dominant personality sometimes if I need to be, but I also know how to step back and let someone else take charge. So
it's interesting because I feel like I'm a lot less easygoing than you are. I feel like I'm very just like intense sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We all like, yeah.
They're like, yeah.
It's funny because like you are such a very serene person, but I don't want to say that you're like that you're not laid back. You're just particular, which I admire honestly because I like someone who I love it when people just like know exactly what they want. I don't think you're high strung. You're just very particular. You have a very particular taste and a very particular way of doing things or like wanting things to be done. Yeah,
I mean, and I feel like sometimes that comes across as like bitchy or something, and I can't help that. Sorry, I don't know. I feel like I hide my bossiness a little bit more. I feel like I disguise my I don't know, I guess my truer self, which is just a little bit more driven and a little bit more like on it and just like, let's...
Are you admitting that
boom,
you
boom,
may
boom.
be controlling?
I don't think I'm controlling though, because I don't think I'm... All right.
Oh my God.
I mean, Jared, let's be honest now. So, I mean, I don't want to say controlling because I feel like it's a negative connotation.
But, I mean, say what
I
you think.
think the word I'm looking for is that you are a lot more vocal than I think you are. You don't mind saying how you feel. Like I would say assertive is a better word. Like you're like you will say if something's bothering you in the moment.
Yeah, I will.
And I don't think you do a bad job at saying it.
But I think
that it just can sometimes come off as a little assertive.
Yeah. And I think that it comes off. I think that initially to a lot of people, it may come as a surprise. I feel like I don't initially give that impression to people.
I think that's what you were saying.
Yeah,
like your initial impression is like, oh, he's nice, he's sweet, until he's not.
Right.
Maybe that's it. Maybe like men just like think that you are like more of like a pushover than.
I think that's really the case, I try to be very like. I try to like not go there, but when you take me to a certain point, then then I'm starting there with every interaction. Like you're gonna know, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just weird. Like that's just. I
don't want to take it to zodiac, so I think that's an Aquarian.
Is that an Aquarian thing?
I do the same. Like y'all guys know. Like normally when I'm talking, my voice is really low. I don't talk very loud, but this mouth is lethal. Like I will slice and dice it.
Look, and the thing is, it's like I know everybody has that potential. Like I've never really seen that in you. Yeah, and I would never want to take you to that place.
I would never. I honestly, that was 18 to probably 26. 7.
But I mean, it
but
could
now,
come back.
Oh, it's always there. I call her Keita.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Keita, and Keita got a mouth that will. I have. Yeah, let me just say that.
Look,
I have learned to control Keita. She is tucked and locked in a box.
Keita cannot be controlled.
Now you give me some.
She's simmering. She's waiting.
You give me the wrong type of whiskey, and Keita might come out. But y'all beware.
Challenge accepted.
But it's like it's weird. Like sometimes people will just kind of like take that calmness or that easygoingness for granted, or
try to take advantage of it. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so now and I'll even give you one moment to like completely show your ass, and I'm still gonna be that sweet person, but don't do it again, because I'm ready for you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna show you.
Exactly.
I definitely have had a few situations like that where people thought, Melvin story time.
Okay,
y'all ready?
Come on now.
So 6th grade.
Taking it back.
I used to live in a certain area in Houston, so I went to a certain school district, but then my parents moved, and so I started going to a different school district. And so it was right from elementary to 6th grade. So this was all new kids, my first time in middle school, and middle school kids are the worst. I wear glasses. I've been wearing glasses since I was 6 years old, so I'm a nerd, whatever.
Okay.
I did not have fashion skills. Whew, I came a long way. I'm still not, I'm not the best dresser, but back in the day, I was like, oof. You remember those silky shirts that had like dragons on them and stuff?
Yes.
That was me. So, I'm coming in at a disadvantage, and I'm in the band, so that's another thing. Like, so I played the saxophone. So that's a whole nother thing. People were like, I was a nerd. And so this boy, he thought he was gonna like pick on me, and like
you thought your heart. Okay.
Yeah, he thought. I can't remember his name. I don't even want to say it because I might get in trouble or something. But
okay, anyways, a different name.
Okay, we'll say his name was John.
Okay.
So John, he would sit behind me in band, and he would like kick my chair. And I was, at first, you think it's an accident because we're on like these step things, so it could possibly kick your chair, but then he would do it like consistently. And so I think he did it for like one full day, and the next day he did it, and I was like, can you stop? And he didn't. And so whatever, we were leaving band, and he decides to like hit me on the back of my head. And when I say I grabbed my saxophone case and I beat that boy's ass, like wore his ass
saxophone
out.
Case.
I mean, I was you bitch, bitch. Needless to say, that boy never fucked with me again. But back to our point. Like, don't think just because I'm like quiet, I'm not saying nothing, that you gonna just whoop my ass.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like the quiet ones and like the ones that come off very sweet, they're definitely the target for like control freaks, for like controlling people in relationships. Because I think that's all of us. They just look at us, they're like, oh yeah, that's I'm gonna control that one. That's.
Although honestly, Renee, I would never like. Because I know you have a fiery side already. You know what I'm saying?
I think boys who even if they went out on a date with you, they would know too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
like.
know. I guess based on your experience though, you've gotten the controlling thing though. Also, so maybe.
Yeah, no, well, you guys know, like, the real me. I definitely do, like, a very different persona.
The Southern Belle accent.
No. No, I mean, I'm very polite. I don't tell them about, like, how I'm obsessed with, like, murder shows and stuff like that. And, like, the crazy shit that I do. Like, you guys
Why not?
Because I'm just meeting them. It takes me a second to warm up.
So let me say this.
I've been taken advantage of a lot in my life because I am a nice person and I do come off as very sweet. You guys just know my other half a lot better.
So let me say this. I used to do the same thing, and I would notice myself in situations where guys would have this one perception of me, thinking that I was this other person that I really wasn't. Like, I'm like, I think when they see us or they see you, they have this certain image in their head that they think who you are, and so they go into it with that logic already. And so then when you show them something else, like, hey, I'm not a pushover, hey, you can't tell me what to wear, you can't tell me where blah 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 blah, it causes problems like distance and disconnect. Like Vero said. So I think, Vero, maybe you should look into yourself and see, like, is this something that you really want, or are you trying not to be alone? I'm not saying that you should break up with your partner, but I just think that you should look at all the aspects. Like, don't just look at what it is he's doing, but maybe look at what it is that you're not doing, and so, or things that you're not maybe looking at within yourself. I always tell people, if you're feeling some type of way, you need to get to the root of why you feel that way first. So then you can address the issue with the other person.
I would agree with that completely.
Yeah.
He does say he's somewhat afraid to leave or break up with him.
Right, and that's what I was going to get
and
to.
I will say, I kind of know a little bit of the story of how they got together because, me and Vero are kind of close. And, it just seemed different. It seemed different, and it seemed like, I don't know, like, how sometimes you hear these stories about how people get together and it just seems like, okay, this is different than the typical thing. So I would not want him to, like, I would never just, like, say, okay, you need to break up with this guy. Because I feel like there is a definite, I feel like there's something there, based on what I've heard about they were coming together. So I think, I don't know. I think, like what you said, just kind of, like, focus on your part in the situation. Focus on what you can do to kind of make the situation a little bit better or make it easier. If he's not going to open up, then maybe give him some time, and I guess just approach him with kindness, or approach him with sweetness.
I would say, try statements like, hey, I know you didn't want to talk about this at this moment, but I want you to know that eventually I would like to have a conversation about it because I have some things that I need to say. And I if y'all both want to be together, I couldn't see someone saying, no, I don't ever want to talk about it, because then that's another issue to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would also say, maybe seek, like a therapist. And I'm not saying that you have an issue. I'm not saying that, like, you even have a mental issue, but sometimes just having, like, a professional to kind of talk with you through the issue. Because I know when I was going through therapy and I was dealing with some issues, like, with me and how I kind of, like, related to my family and stuff like that, you kind of think that everybody else needs to be in therapy. But it really helps if one person kind of shifts their whole mindset. Everybody else kind of has to shift to either be in relationship with you or leave, because they can't get with the new you. You know what I'm saying? So that may be another option as well.
I always say therapy is awesome.
But you never had therapy.
Hey.
Okay.
Ooh.
Hey.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll have to schedule a session.
So the coolest thing ever, my job actually pays for 6 sessions a year. So I plan on doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yay.
Absolutely.
I just been trying to
he'll probably be a lot more assertive after those 6 sessions.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think I'm not assertive about? What do you guys think? Give me an example.
What do I think you're not assertive? You just said you're very easygoing. And I feel like...
Oh, you think I might come out? But I wouldn't want to be more assertive than I already am.
Well, I don't think so. I think you have... I don't know.
Maybe you'd just, like, be a little bit more assertive about what exactly you want. Maybe? You know, because, like, me and Jarrod, we know exactly what we look for in relationships, whether it be, like, in friendships or, like, romantic relationships. So maybe it'll be easier for you to be like, you know what? I don't like that behavior. It's not benefiting me as a person. And then maybe you'll get better at like dropping people who do not benefit you.
I don't know. I mean, I have my own thoughts, but we're gonna move. We're gonna move on.
I didn't want to go into it.
Okay.
But I know it's not like a bad thing. I just was saying I didn't want to go too far off the topic.
Okay.
But I think I personally think that I do a good job at like keeping my circle small on purpose. Like I do have a lot of friends, but my actual circle is like small. I like to keep it tight.
Do you tend to lead in any of those moments when you're with people?
Yeah, I would say that in a lot of the circles I'm in, I don't want to do that because I don't want to seem like I'm like Beyonce or something. But a lot of the circles that I'm in, I'm like the center friend, if that makes sense. Like everyone knows everyone because through me, right? And everyone hangs out through me. Yeah. So we all hang out and stuff. We get along, but like let's say I go to Texas, everybody's gonna come in town because they want to hang out with me. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not like
Beyonce of the group.
Cause baby, you're man.
Look, when you go to Texas next time, please let me know because I've never been and I really want to go.
Such a good time, like such a great time. I love Texas. It's hot as hell right now. Like I just checked the temperature, it was like 100 and something degrees.
Goodness. Okay. So the other part of this question is this the sign of a narcissist or am I being delusional? Like is he overthinking this control thing, and is this the sign of his boyfriend kind of being a narcissist?
I don't think narcissist when I think of controlling. And I have experience with a lot of narcissists. That would be more of their opinion is God kind of thing. I definitely don't think that what he's doing is narcissism. It could definitely be viewed as controlling, but I don't think it's like a sign of a narcissist. Yeah. I think that would be a step too far. I think we all, like, as humans have our own narcissistic traits, you know, because we only see from our point of view most of the time. Like, every individual doesn't have the ability to look outside of themselves. I think that's sometimes what makes a narcissist. But how long have they been dating, do you know? Not long. I mean, a few months, I think, at this point. Maybe like 6 months. I don't know. It hasn't been that long. Oh, wait, no. Might have been like a year now. Now that I'm thinking about it. I mean, I feel like, after a certain amount of time, you would pick up on those traits. But I always tell people, Google it. Google narcissism and look at the, traits. And if you can point out most of those traits, then... Yeah, the thing is like... narcissism is one of those weird things where it's like you said, a lot of people can have those traits, but that does not necessarily mean it makes a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of those words that gets thrown around a lot incorrectly, like gaslighting. But it sounds like a little gaslighting in here. Gaslighting is manipulating someone's reality.
That's what it sounds like. He says he feels like he's distant.
That's not gaslighting though.
And dismissive.
Gaslighting would be more like I didn't say that, or you don't actually feel that way. It's like those people are making you think like that. Okay. I didn't. Actual gaslighting can have it could take years to undo. gaslighting is actually insanely serious, and I've been trying not to say it as much because like I didn't realize like how serious it can be.
I wonder what's the technical term for gaslighting.
Huh?
Like, what's the?
I mean, I think that is the term.
I think that is the technical term.
Is it?
Yeah.
It sounds so slangish.
Okay, well, it's just because it's become super popularized. I think a more nuanced way of saying gaslighting is manipulating. More like that's what gaslighting
But yeah,
is. Like
manipulating your reality, kind of trying to make you think that your thinking is faulty and your thinking is wrong. And I can't. I can't. But see, like gaslighting and narcissism, it kind of goes hand in hand.
It does?
I'm not a medical professional.
A narcissist would gaslight
would absolutely
someone.
gaslight.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But gaslighting someone doesn't make you a narcissist.
Right.
Let's be clear.
Exactly.
Anyone who is a therapist, you can let us know if we're wrong.
Yeah.
Tony, review this episode and leave your critiques at the bottom.
Tony is a therapist. Sometimes I forget.
He is a licensed therapist. So I think my overall advice for Vero, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get your name by the end of this episode. Vero, I got it. But I think my like biggest advice, like, or if I had to give you like one token, would be to like really understand what it is that you're looking for, really understand what it is that you want out of a partner, and be assertive about those things. Like, don't be scared to lose someone because they can't provide what it is that you want.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's just going to lead to resentment, and it's going to unravel anyway. So I think you need to look within yourself, make sure you have, like, write out some qualities. I always say write everything down because that's how you get your thoughts out. Like, when you're thinking it in your head, it gets jumbled up. But if you write everything down that you're thinking, you can pick out the tokens. And so write out the things that you want in a partner, and if that person can meet those qualities, or if you can address those things and your partner feels like he can do those things for you, then there's your answer. But if not, then there's also your answer. But don't be scared. Be assertive.
Don't be scared.
Be assertive about it.
Well,
you
see, the thing is, like, I
uh,
feel like he has been assertive, and that's probably the reason that he's...
assertive but rational, not emotional. I always say that. Like, you have to take emotion out of those type of situations, because
just take a
if
step
you
back.
if you come at it aggressive, or if you come at assertive and aggressive are two different things. Assertive is me speaking my mind without fear of whatever the backlash is. Aggression is I'm upset, and I'm gonna, and you're seeing I'm communicating my aggression towards you. So you just know the difference. Like I said, always focus on yourself and facts. If you're going to address something that a person did, it can't be an assumption. Like, you did this because you were upset. It has to be, you did this, and that's it. But if you can talk about how it made you feel, but not anything else. You can't assume what another person meant to do to you.
Yeah.
Never say you. Always say I.
I statements.
I statements.
But yeah, I mean, if at the end of the day, this is a situation that is serious enough that you can't move past it without talking, and this guy does not want to address it, you know, I mean, I think moving on has to be a part of the options that are on the table, you know, because if you're not getting what you need out of this relationship, then, you know, why are you in it, you know? Because I feel like you could try to talk to some people as calmly and rationally as possible. And this is not to slap down anything that you said, Melvin, because I completely agree. But in some cases, people just, regardless, and maybe because of a past pattern, they automatically think that you are going to come at them in an emotional way when you start talking to them with some deep stuff. Then they automatically shut down, and they just don't want to hear anything you have to say, regardless of how you're coming at them with it.
And again, there's your answer.
You know, so yeah, and if you're not going to be able to move past the situation, and if it's something serious enough, then you may need to just move on, unfortunately. Yeah, but if you are, if you're dealing with like a true, if you're dealing with like a true narcissist, then yeah, you need to get out of there. But
Or
I don't
have
know.
him seek therapy.
What'd you say?
I said, or have the narcissist seek therapy.
Well, or seek therapy for you. My thing is like you can always try to suggest therapy to somebody, but you're not gonna ever make them get therapy.
Right.
Like 9 times out of 10, if it's not their idea, they're not gonna go into therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Seek therapy for yourself for how to deal with a narcissist in your relationship, or how to get away from the stuff like that. But yeah, I mean that's really all I would have to say. I mean, I don't get narcissism from this situation based on your explanation of what you said.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds like he just checked out.
Yeah, it sounds like he's checked out about something else. It might not even have nothing. I'm sorry, I'm away from the mic. It sounds like he checked out about something else that maybe it just needs a conversation, and it might not even have nothing to do with you. Because I know one time specifically, I was talking to Jeremy, and like it just seemed like he was upset, and I'm like, eventually I was like, did I do something? Like, what's wrong? And he was like, honestly, he was like, this is around the time my mom passed, and so I've just been in a mood, and I've just been feeling kind of down. So I apologize if I've been kind of an asshole lately. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know. And so next year, when this time came, I bought him a gift.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I know this is around the time, you're feeling that. And like, when I said he bawled and cried, like, because it was like.
I would bawl and cry. That's so sweet.
And so, but yeah, so like, I'm just saying, like, sometimes it might not have anything to do with you at all.
True.
So
True.
Just like, go into it with an open mind and just be able to keep calm even if he isn't calm.
And have patience. That's my issue, is patience. I've had to learn to build patience. And I know how Viral is. I feel like me and Viral are similar in some ways. And I feel like we could be very impatient. At least that's my impression. So hopefully that helps. And if you have any more questions, DM us. And anybody else, if you have any more questions, please enter in. You can hit the link in the description to give us your questions for us to discuss here on the show. And I think that's it. Yeah, just like, subscribe, give us your comments. We love to interact with you and chat with you. And until next time, if you have no one else,
You got
got
us.
us.